Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexi Outs here. It is Monday morning, and we're doing a Monday moment. And today's Monday moment is kind of going to be a little bit of a honoring of former Raptor Dennis Schroder for today. And yeah, I'm not going to follow his channel anymore. I decided after today, but I did want to talk about his content from yesterday that he dropped finally on his YouTube channel. Dennis and his wife make a lot of YouTube content, and at the beginning of the year, it was really fun to see all the content from them when they first arrived in Toronto and showing the transition of moving to Toronto to play for the Raptors. And then this season got so crazy with trades and all kinds of stuff going on with the team that at a certain point he just stopped making content. I don't know if it was that like they asked him not to, or he just got too hectic, or he had too much going on in his life where he just didn't want to put his life on broadcast. Whatever it was, Dennis stopped making YouTube content for a good chunk of the whole season. Well, he came back and made a piece yesterday and put it out. Is from Saturday, 420. We saw the day for the Shooters and what they were doing. And basically, what it was they were in Toronto in the morning. He was here in the morning on Saturday morning with his family at the house they were staying at out there, getting ready to go to Cleveland for that 1 o'clock game on Cleveland afternoon in Cleveland the afternoon on Saturday, the first game of game one of the first round, Orlando Magic and Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, the reason why Dennis and Ellen were going to Cleveland on a private jet out of Toronto, very, very classy, is that he had promised the Wagner brothers when they played against Orlando the last game that he would come and watch them play in the playoffs in the NBA. So he was coming to fulfill a promise to his teammates from Team Germany that he would come and support them against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Of course, we see in the footage, we see him sitting at courtside, we see him traveling with his wife Ellen. Really, really cool to see the inside stuff of like Dennis's YouTube channel. It is something I'm going to miss. And even though we only had him on our team for 6 months, he's always going to be an honored, treasured Raptor to me in the history of the Raptors, even though he was barely here. But yeah, it's kind of cool to see Dennis's dedication and loyalty to his friends, the Wagner brothers, and going to see them play against Cleveland. Of course, they lost the game and Cleveland won. And it's crazy because all the home teams won the first game of the first round. That's interesting. That's the first time that's ever happened since 2013, where every single home team won the first game of the playoffs in the first round. Very, very interesting. But yeah, Dennis then getting on a plane and jet setting from Cleveland to New York to be at Barclays Center for the UFC fight that was on Saturday night also. And he had picked the guy who didn't win. He was picking Haney in the clip. As far as him and Joel were talking about who's going to win. And Joel picked Garcia, and Dennis and Mikey picked Haney. And they were wrong. We see Ellen debating whether she'd eat a hot dog because of whether it's pork or beef. We see all kinds of stuff on the Ellen and Dennis show on YouTube. Man, in some ways, I'm like, Dennis is such a loyal guy to the Wagner brothers. That's fantastic that he showed up for them in Cleveland. That's really kind of my spiel on that. This is going to be a very short stream, guys. I have to go do some stuff this morning on Monday. So and there really isn't a whole lot for me to talk about for things. I just wanted to kind of touch on the Monday moment of Dennis putting content out yesterday, showing his trip to Cleveland, and kind of remembering this is a guy who came to Toronto and was very, very eager to come and help our team win this year. And in some ways, it's like things just went south. And in some ways, I feel bad about how things ended up with Dennis and our team. And as Masai said this past week, it wasn't Dennis's fault. It was more the team just kind of shift gears. And well, it just went in another direction. All right, good to see Canadian Dana in here. Good morning, everybody. Good morning to you, Dana. I hope you're doing very well. No two-finger salutes for anybody today, hopefully. Hopefully, not yet. It's too early. And happy Earth Day, everybody. Today is Earth Day, and it's a good day to change some of your behavior or just do something for a little while. I know they turn the lights off in some places for an hour for Earth Hour or something like that on Earth Day. Plant a tree, ride your bike instead of drive your car. Whatever you can do to help conserve energy and to make this earth more green. That's what your theme is for today. So happy Earth Day to everybody. And yeah, Participate, do something, make a difference because it all adds up. Even just a little bits all add up in the end and cause something good to happen. So don't think that what you do won't matter because it does. It does matter. Trust me. All right, Naco the Nachos here. Good to see you, Gerald. Dame put on a show that first half. And no showed the second. Pascal looks like he has Miles Turner and nobody else. Okay, so yeah, the Pacers did not win their first game against the Bucks. The Bucks holding shop without Giannis Antetokounmpo. Dame Lillard coming out gangbusters right from the start. This is a man who's been sitting in Portland wanting to be in the playoffs for many years, and he is a valued, very savvy vet who knows how to do what he's going to do on the court. I mean, he's been playing this league for so long. He's been biting at the chomp, ready to get a playoff game, to go out there and do exactly what he did last night. Kudos to Lillard showing up and doing what he does. And now kudos to the Pacers, leaving a man on an island alone named Pascal Siakam. This guy showed up. He did his part. Where the hell were the rest of y'all is what I'm going to say right now. It's not that y'all are the worst team than Milwaukee. In some ways, I say you're a better team than them, but y'all didn't play like it. And Tyrese Halliburton, you're an all-star? Yeah, right. There's something weird going on here. Where was the Pacers to help Pascal? Rick Carlisle, you better light a fire in their ass because Siakam needs more help. Miles Turner showing up later in the game. But really, in the first half, nobody showed up except for Pascal. And that's really disappointing considering they have some very, very potent offensive weapons like Tyrese Halliburton on their team. So, yeah, big fail, Pacers. You need to get your team game together and support Mr. Siakam. The Raptors fans don't like this. We see our guy go out there. He is a very established playoff player that knows what he's doing. I mean, he was doing a high-level playoff play and 6 years ago when we went on our championship run. So y'all need to support Siakam, Pacers, and stop screwing around. Seriously. In some ways, it's only going to get worse if Giannis comes back. Although Giannis comes back, it may be easier to beat them. I don't know. It's kind of funny. Like, would Dame do what he did in the first game against the Pacers if Giannis was healthy? That's another big question for everybody. Yeah, that's crazy. Let's see. Yeah, it's too bad that Pascal's not getting the support from his Pacer teammates. Trevor J's here. Good morning, Raptors family. Be positive. It leads to happiness and good health. So stay uplifted today and every day. There you go. Trevor J with some words of wisdom today. Stay positive. Be positive. Things are happening in your life. Well, there's two perspectives you can take, and that's up to you. Some things are going to be negative in connotation no matter what, but there's always a silver lining, and that's up to you. You could have good things happening to you, and you only look at the dark part of it or the thing that you don't like about it. Then you're just kind of an ass. You should just be very grateful. And if good things are happening to you, well, don't mess it up. Be grateful and really appreciate them. That's what I'm saying right there. All right, let's do the classic cosmic card of the day. I pulled it out of the box already because I'm kind of sitting in a weird position here on the bed to get the great view of nothing you can see outside because it's so bright. But here we go. Coming from the bottom. Now we're here. You guys know we have to have full names. Remember that, please. And do not half-ass me. Please make sure you put in the full name of this player. This is going to be a difficult one. This one's not that easy. So here we go. It's coming up. First person to write in the full name will get 100 points out of the Raptor Freak score. That's right. The classic card of the day. Let's see. It looks like there's two players on that card. It looks like number 50 is on there. That's somebody that people should know. But the card is the person who's got the ball and wearing the New Jersey Nets jersey. So who do you think that is, guys? Now, I know who number 50 is. You can tell me who that is. Ed Pickney. That's not right, Seymour. This guy's shorter than Ed Pickney. Ed Pickney was 6'9", and this guy is a lot shorter than Ed Pickney. Let me just say that. Can you tell who that other guy is? That may be able to gauge how tall he is. That's New York Knicks number 50, the father of current Orlando Magic backup point guard. That gives away that on who he is. You know, if you guys know who that is. This guy is 5'10". So Isaac knows who it is, but he doesn't want to give it away. That is right, Isaac. This guy is. Clarence Weatherspoon's not right. Seymour, that's a good guess. It's around the right time period. At least you're in the right era. Let's see. Yeah, this guy is 5'10". Isaac, why don't you just get it? That's not Sean Marion. Why are you trying to goof around? You should know who that is, right? Isaac, you're the expert. Well, tell me who the guy in the Knicks jersey is, at least, Isaac. Please. You know who that is. Come on. I just gave it away. His son plays for the Magic, and he's the backup point guard. That the Nick in the picture. All right, y'all. Y'all got me twisting in the wind. That's right. That's Greg Anthony in there. That's Greg Anthony, who's number 50 for the Knicks. Now, who is the card though, guys? You guys got Gregory Cole. That's not Gregory Cole. That's Gregory Anthony. His last name's Anthony. Cole Anthony. Yeah. All right. What is the name of the net, guys? Come on. That's the classic card. This is tough here. Dana Barros. No. You know what? All right. You guys want clues? His last name is the same as number 50, the great 50 for San Antonio Spurs. If you know who the number 50 for San Antonio Spurs franchise, their last name is the same last name as this guy's. So that may help you there. This may be that this guy's just too unknown from back in the day. Where's Smooth Brown, man? He would get this one. Where are these guys? Come on, Isaac. If you know it, just go ahead and say it. Just go ahead and say it. Come on, Isaac. If you got it, Al Robinson. That's not right. That's not right. Downtown, bam, son. Yeah, there you go. The last name is Robinson. You got it right on that one. Which Robinson is that, guys? You guys know your Robinsons in the NBA? Yeah, Mike got the right last name, but that is not it. Mike's laughing about it. All right, guys, come on. Is it going to be like this today, pulling teeth? The classic cosmic card is a tough one. Isaac, put me out of my misery if you know who this is. He's 5'10". You can go ahead and get the points, Isaac. You're not going to be greedy if you just put it in. If you actually know who it is, just go ahead and put it in. Come on, guys. Last name is Robinson. You just need to get the first name at this point. You got me twisting in the wind. Nobody's got it. Nate Robinson? No, this is before Nate Robinson. See, this is the problem. This is an old school guy. There we go. Smooth came to save me. That is Ramil Robinson. Oh my gosh, Smooth, you just got here too, didn't you? Yeah, that's Ramil Robinson, guys. Ramil Robinson. He played for the Hawks. He played for the Nets. Played for a couple teams. Yeah, out of Michigan. He's 6'2", not 5'10". You were wrong. But yeah, college at Michigan. That's right. Ramil Robinson. All right, Smooth. Once again, reclaiming his top-notch guesser for the classic card. Thank you, Smooth, for putting me out of my misery trying to get that one. I'm sorry. You guys just don't know your classic cards like Smooth Brown Man does. That is Ramil Robinson, y'all. And that is Cole Anthony running with them. Yeah. All right, let me see. Let's get back to the comments. Let's see. Pascal, he had 36 points and 13 rebounds. Yeah, we're very proud of Siakam and what he did for the Pacers yesterday. He did not look bad. It's just the rest of them. There were a couple teams that had trouble with scoring. There was a lot of anemic scoring. I found this weekend in the opening games of this playoffs, a lot of the young players that have never been in the playoffs don't know how to score in the playoff game. The intensity and the defense and the more physicalness, well, you see a bunch of guys with goose eggs. They're younger, not doing nothing, whether it's on the Pacers, whether it's on the Mavs, whether it's both teams in the Pelicans and Thunders game last night. Both teams anemic scoring. Nobody's able to put in the basket because the defense is just like that. And these guys don't have this experience. This is why it's important to have vet presence on your team. Because if you don't have any experience about how the playoffs are, well, you're screwed right from the bat. You need to understand how it is and how it changes. And that's why people like Dame Lillard, Pascal Siakam, they can play at a high level when all these other turkeys come out there and they look like trash. That's what I'm saying. I knew this was going to happen in Dallas, that they're going to have two guys to score, Kyrie and Luka, and the rest of the team ain't going to do jack shit. You don't have enough to score against the Clippers when they got all those other guys scoring over on the other side. James Harden picking up the slack in the absence of Kawhi Leonard. So I'm telling you, there's a true thing about that first playoff jitters and coming out there and trying to play. These guys do not know how to shoot if they're making their playoff debuts or they're first coming out there, all the youngsters. It's just part of how it is. I'm just saying, yeah, it's just how it is. Trevor's saying, I think Miami is going to get swept. Dallas had no answer for the Clippers. It's very likely that number one seed Boston will sweep the Miami Heat. I mean, the Heat are hurt. They don't have their best weapon against Boston, and that's Jimmy Butler. And, well, what are you going to do? That guy's out for several weeks. That's a first-round exit for Miami this year instead of an upset over the Celtics like last year. That's just, I mean, you can predict that. They don't even have Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, Kyle Lowry from last year, and those were big key players for them in their run to the finals last year. So yeah, the Heat are getting swept, and you're right. The Celtics should take care of them easy. Yeah, Dallas had no answer to the Clippers. That's because the Clippers are a better team than they seem. That is a real team. They're not just a foursome from California of Hall of Famers and Kawhi's out. They have a real team. They have Zubac, a real center. They've got young, talented defensive players like Terrence Mann and Amir Coffey. They've got guys off the bench like Norman Powell and Mason Plumlee. They've got a real team with role players that are doing different roles. And the great thing is, guys like Harden and Westbrook, they have bought into being a lesser role and working together, and they're not being pains in the ass. There's more of Harden from Philadelphia, where he's assisting people and not trying to take over and being inefficient. He's figuring it out in his older age in the NBA that if he's going to win a championship, he needs to do it this way. And that's why I feel like the Clippers are better shape than people actually realize, because Russell Westbrook realizes his role as a six man coming off the bench. James Harden realizes the role that he can play that's more conducive to winning also. So yeah, Dallas is in trouble. They've got two really, really good point guards, and that's it. The rest of their team is, yeah, they're in trouble. They're in trouble. Clippers going to do something. And especially if Kawhi comes back, that's just adding on to the pain for them, because Kawhi didn't even play, and Clippers beat them pretty good. The Dallas couldn't score. It's crazy how bad their offense was. This happened a lot this season, actually. There were a lot of games where the Mavericks had those two guys scoring and nobody else doing jack shit. So they're in trouble. The Mavericks never had legs to go far. Terrence Ross said that himself last week. He said, I don't think the Lakers or the Mavericks are going to go very far this year. He's exactly right. Yeah. Trevor's saying Joel is questionable against the Knicks tonight for the dumbness he did. Yeah, that dunk. Nick saying he feels pretty good. Nick Nurse saying that he feels pretty good and he thinks he's going to play today. We'll have to see. Of course, Philly's going to play the second game against New York tonight. Our referees for that game are John Goble, Courtney Kirkland, Gianmitas Petraeus, and the alternate is John Butler. In Orlando and Cleveland, game 2, James Capers Jr. is the crew chief with Ben Taylor backing him up, and Brett Bernecki. Aaron Smith is the alternate. In Denver for game 2 with the Lakers and Nuggets tonight. Scott Foster's running the show there tonight. Just so you know, guys, he's probably going to try and even things out with the Nuggets. Watch. I'm going to predict that right now. Scott Foster's going to do a ref hit job on the Nuggets to even the series out. If you see really, really bad refereeing from Scott Foster tonight that absolutely favors the Lakers and LeBron, you will know what I'm saying. They already tried to help the Lakers in game 1. It backfired. They couldn't help them to win, even against Jokic and all them. They're going to try even harder tonight. Watch. Scott Foster's there for a reason in Denver tonight, just so y'all know. Curtis Blair is his referee, and the umpire is Sean Wright, with the alternate being Eric Dalen. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, Scott Foster being there for the Lakers Nuggets game 2. Yeah, there's some script writing he's trying to do there, because it ain't no good money if LeBron gets swept by the Nuggets in the first round. So yeah, they're going to try and give them the game to the Lakers tonight. Watch very much with open eyes when you're watching the game tonight. I'm telling you. All right, Monique is here. Good morning, Raptor Freak family. Good morning to you, Monique Lawrence, the super fan. Fiercely saying good morning, fam, and happy Monday. It was nice to see Dennis and Ellen, that private jet. Whose was it? Larry Tannenbaum? I was wondering about that. You know, in some ways, I was wondering if the Raptors actually put them up to fly out like that. I'm sure that they went on that trip as like a whim, because that game was at 1 p.m. And, you know, they got up on Saturday morning and they said goodbye to their kids with the babysitters, whoever's going to watch them, and jumped on a plane out of Toronto and flew. I mean, it's not a far flight. It's not going to take long to fly from Toronto to Cleveland. But yeah, I was wondering whose jet that was. It probably was access to the Raptors' private jets and stuff, but I don't know if he had to pay himself or what. I don't know. In some ways, that's none of my business. But it's definitely the jet service that people like Gary, Scotty, the Raptors in general use to fly around to places that they need to. We've seen Scotty and Gary on the tarmac with their dogs getting on jets like those in the last couple years. So that makes sense. That would be maybe the jets that the Raptors or Larry Tannenbaum has available for people. Now, it probably is that because they wanted to do what they wanted to do, that Dennis and Ellen paid for it themselves. So we'll have to see. In some ways, it's none of our business. We don't know. Seymour saying, "What's good, Raptor freaks and freakettes? What's good with you, Seymour Pape? Holding it down in Alberta, in the central Canada, holding it down for us, the city slicker, Sheriff Seymour Pape, holding it down for us, Mountain Time. That's right. That's always like to see the sheriff come in and say hi. Fiercey's here. Good to see Fiercey saying, Pascal has 36 points, the only one putting in the work. I see Pacers fans nervous, saying he won't resign if they don't put the efforts in. Ooh, that's interesting. So Pacers fans are online saying this, like, we need to do better to support Siakam, or he may not want to resign with us this summer. Yikes. Yeah, I would say that's true. Halliburton, get off your ass and start doing what you're supposed to do, bro. You have a hype to you, and you're not fulfilling no hype on that, man. You need to get going, Tyrese. You are the most important one on this one. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Nameless is saying, telling us Pascal ain't the number one option in Indiana. It ain't Halliburton, bro. I always knew that. Not yet, anyways. I agree with this. I would just say, like, when Pascal showed up, he was the number one guy now. Because seriously, Tyrese has not established himself in the same kind of ways that Pascal has in this league over the years. Pascal's our most improved player. Pascal's a two-time All-Star. Pascal is a G League Finals MVP. Pascal is the second banana on a Finals NBA champion team. There's so many different things that Pascal has on his resume that Tyrese Halliburton does not have. And that's what I'm saying. In some ways, Indiana, don't get it twisted. You traded and got a number one option on your team. And he showed y'all in game one against the Milwaukee Bucks. So, yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah. Cool Cat saying, good morning, Raptor Freak crew. Pacers youngins were nervous and stunned in the bright lights of the playoffs. Hopefully they get over it for the game. Don't waste Siakam's time, please. Yeah, Cool Cat, she's looking at the watch, and she's kind of like, She's like Pascal's auntie. And she's very much watching out for Pascal's best interest. So, Pacers, you better get your act together, because Auntie Cool Cat is watching, and she's saying, oh, you don't waste my nephew's time. No. Don't you waste his time. Not in the least. That's right. I'm with you. This is happened in all the series. There are youngsters that are getting blinded by the bright lights of the playoffs and the physicality of the big guys that are vets coming at them and knocking them to the ground. Did you see that lick that was taken by a Boston Celtic by the Miami Heat yesterday? I believe that was Bam Adebayo doing a bam to somebody and putting him on the ground. Alan Tam, bam, son. Did you see that pick? That was amazing. That's the NBA. That's the playoffs, baby. And yeah, it's a different season. Welcome to it, youngsters. You're on the floor, on your ass. That's how it is. It's just how it is. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's keep going. We'll go through all the guesses for the game today. Alan Tam, bam, son. That's right. That was a nasty pick. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was a nasty pick. Cool Cat saying, for teams that want all young players, that is the lesson. Playoffs is for experienced grown men. Regular season is for highlights with no defense. Boom, goes the dynamite. In fact, I'm going to give Cool Cat a 3-pointer for that one. I honestly agree with her wholeheartedly. You got the original Jakob Poeltl 42. Cool Cat. I love it. You know what? You're exactly right. And this is why the youth movement and overvaluing youth pisses me off so much. Is because if you want to be more playoff ready, you need people that know what they're doing when they get there. I'm shocked. In some ways, listen, that Pelicans Thunder match last night went toe-to-toe right down the wire. Both teams looked like hot shit on their offense. They did not play very well on the offensive end. There was some quarters last night where teams were scoring like 7 points in a quarter. Dallas Mavericks. You know, this is a symptom of people not ready for prime time. And that's what I'm saying. Now, the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Pelicans series is two young teams that haven't really gone very far, except for Jonas. Jonas is an older guy involved in this. And in fact, he played at a high level in the middle of everything for the Pelicans. But I'm just saying, this is the truth, that in some ways, these two young teams, one of them is going to have to win. And luckily, SGA and the Thunder got the Pelicans in the first round, because it was a more veteran team like the Clippers or something like that. They may be in trouble because they know the way better. And this may be the thing they find in later rounds. They can beat New Orleans now. But I want SGA and them to go far, but their inexperience is going to get them before they get there. I'm telling you right now, you can't just go all the way to the championship naturally unless you're something crazy like Magic Johnson with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, sure. But no, it's really hard to win if you're a rookie superstar and go right to it. LeBron didn't do that shit, did he? No. Who in this league has come in as a superstar youngster, first round pick, and won the championship in their first couple years? Never. There's always a learning curve. It's always a learning curve. That's just how it is. Smooth saying Ramil is a jack. He went to jail for defrauding his mom. Is a jackass. This guy's a jackass. Okay, so Smooth's not a big fan of Ramil Robinson defrauding his mother. And yikes, that's I didn't know that about him. Well, you learned something. You learned something. Nako saying Luka was also invisible versus the Clippers. Norm still got it. Norm's going to do what Norm's going to do. He's a steady backup off the bench for a playoff team. He's got a ring. His evidence is right there. He's got a ring that he can hold up from 2019 that says, I was one of the most important bench players for the Raptors in their championship run. So, yeah, I'm with you on that one. Let's see. Stargate saying Jonas and CJ. That's right. Those are the two senior guys on the Pelicans. And who was the ones who were carrying the Pelicans to keep it close to the end and almost beat them? That's right. Valanciunas and McCollum. McCollum trying to hit the big three at the end of the game to win the game at the buzzer beater. Did not hit it, though. Did not hit it. Mike saying all the home teams won the first game. Game two should have some interesting results. In some ways, they say the playoffs don't even start until a visiting team wins. So sorry, guys. The playoffs did not officially start this weekend because no visiting teams won this weekend. Yeah, that doesn't happen very often. That's kind of a statistical anomaly. Like we said, that hasn't happened in over 10 years where every single home team won their first game of the first round. That doesn't happen very often. Cowboys here. Good morning, Lex and Rapid Freaks. Good morning to you, Cowboy. Ta-da. Ta-da Services. Call for a free quote. Cleaning Services, Inc., 647-833-6844. Franchises are available. Ta-da will do all kinds of things for you. Windows, area rugs, duct cleaning, eavesdrop. In and out cleanups starting as low as $89. You want to call Bradley because the Canadian Cowboy can come to your house and help you with any kind of odd job. 647-833-6844. Ta-da. That's right, baby. Yeah, good to see you, Bradley. Trevor's saying the playoff is a different monster. You need to come correct if you are going to find out the hard way very quick. That's right, youngsters. That's right. Welcome to the NBA playoffs moment. That's right. That's what you get. Yeah. Isaac's saying, did all the Canadians win last night? Asking for a friend. I'm not sure. I didn't really keep track of it. Once again, I'm very busy. I'm sorry. I'm not going to give you the regular old Raptor Freak Lexathons right now. In fact, I'm going to get off the air very shortly because, like I said, I've got some things I've got to go do. And yeah, it's going to be like this for a little bit because there's really not a whole lot of Raptors news. There's not a lot of Team Canada news. It's me kind of reacting to playoff news and just doing that kind of stuff right now. So he's saying, how's it been going out there, Lex? Pretty good. We had a tree that fell over the winter, and we got the chainsaw out yesterday, chopped it up, and threw it in the woods to let it decay and let it be habitat for some animals and bugs and woodpeckers to get on it and do what they do. So yeah, we were doing some stuff in the yard finally because it was a little bit nicer yesterday. Still pretty cold. But yeah, we're checking out some of the stuff that was going on in the yard. I have some rhubarb coming up and wild rhubarb. It's actually been persisting out in the yard for about 5 decades. This rhubarb that my grandfather planted in probably like the 50s or something like that. It's crazy. So I've got a rhubarb patch I need to go tend to and help propagate because I'd like to get more rhubarb going. Mike's saying it's funny because people were picking the lower seeded teams more than last year, but the higher seeds held ground. Well, I would say that's not folly, Mike, because in some of the matchups, I would say like the Pacers had the better option against the Bucks just because Giannis is out and the way the Bucks have been playing badly. I mean, there's a couple of series in the first round where it looked like the team that wasn't the home team could win. But, well, home teams won. That's it. Yeah, Trevor's saying you missed some comments. All right, let me see. All right, I'll make sure I get all of them. Let's see. Trevor's saying the playoff is a different. I already said that. Isaac's saying, did all the Canadian? Yeah, I read that. Mathurin didn't win. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. I missed one comment. Fiercely saying rhubarb is good. Makes amazing jam with strawberries. Yeah. I mean, whatever's already naturally here, I want to continue to encourage it. I think on the property, what is naturally here already is rhubarb, asparagus, and raspberries. So I want to encourage that kind of stuff going on out in the yard and add more. I've also been planting a couple of little seeds for other stuff too. All right, let me just go over what I've got left to talk about, and I'm going to get out of here, guys. I appreciate everybody. All right, today's birthday is Bob McCann's birthday. This is a sad birthday, guys. Bob McCann would be 60 today if he was still alive. He died at the age of 47. A very, very bit player for the Raptors. He only played one game for the Raptors. He was a big man, and he had a lot of tragedy in his life, and he just kind of bounced around between teams and the EuroLeague and different places. But happy birthday, Bob McCann! Even though you died at 47 of heart failure, that's sad. That's sad. So get yourself checked out on today's day. But yeah, today's former Raptor Bob McCann only played one game ever for the Raptors. Did not score a point. So in some ways, I was gonna do. Could I do a Monday moment on him? I'm like, no, it's depressing. He's dead, and he wasn't really that important to the Raptors. So it's like I was struggling to figure out what the topic would be today. So Dennis made a YouTube clip, and I was like, okay, I'll make it my reaction to that. Really cool to see Dennis and Ellen jet setting around. In some ways, I wish the Schroders well, and I know that he's going to be heading back to Germany soon to get ready for Team Germany training camp stuff. Very, very soon, I'm sure. Yeah. All right, let's see what else you guys are saying. Tom Duke saying good morning. Have a good week. Good morning to you, Tom Dukey. Thank you, associate producer Tom Duke of this channel for doing what you do. Pie, yeah, rhubarb pie. Rhubarb pie. I might just eat it. I mean, just chow on it. Let's see. Let's see. Cool Cat saying the devaluation or ageism of NBA players is embarrassing team owners. Cheap young players is not the best strategy. I totally agree with this. I feel like in some ways this is like a way of trying to be cheap, very, very cheap. And they want to just like throw something together. Maybe as a whole, they were deciding, you know what, the players' union's a certain way. They used to fight to let veterans be in the league as long as they can, but it's not really that way anymore. People are having lower than average. I think that the average NBA career at this point is shrinking because there's way more guys that are coming in for like maybe under 5 years and leaving than guys that are staying till almost 10 years like there used to be just like 10 years ago. It's not even that long ago this is happening. So there is a weird thing with the age pyramid of the NBA changing as far as the ages of the players. Players like Kyle Lowry, Thad Young, Garrett Temple, these are the exception to the rule. These guys have survived and stuck around for this time, but most of these guys like them that would have stuck around in the 80s and 90s, it's not like that anymore. And in some ways, that's part of why the product of the NBA is worse in some ways for like not good fundamental basketball. A lot of like dumb mistakes and just like silliness going on the court because the vets that know how to play the game right are not getting to play anymore because they're getting waived and they're not finding a place in the league. And it's weird. It's a weird situation. Ageism's a really weird time. I get it. There's certain generations that have screwed up the economy, screwed up chances for young people economically in different ways. And I understand why you're pissed off, young people. I really do. In some ways, I'm with you guys. But we got to understand this does not apply to everything in the world in some ways. You can be mad at older people for screwing up your chance to buy a house and all this kind of stuff. But in basketball, this is not what this applies to. In some ways, y'all need your vets. And I think that Scotty maybe even came into the league not thinking and realizing how much he needs his vets. But now he really does understand it at this point. And thank goodness, because people like Garrett Temple, Thad Young, all these guys that he's been around, like Fred VanVleet, has been very, very helpful for him in helping to shape him to become a better pro in his early years. That it's just important. You got to learn how to be a pro. And if there's not enough guys on your team showing you how to be pros, then you're not pros. You're just youngsters running around playing ball. And I know this isn't all the youngsters. There's some very good fundamental youngsters that have good heads on their shoulders and they know how to do this the right way. This is a weird thing. So we shouldn't generalize either way. But it's weird. This is exactly for real happening, Cool Cat. The people are getting aged out earlier in their NBA careers than ever. In some ways, you could say Chris Boucher could be in trouble of being aged out, even at his age right now this summer. That's crazy. There's got to be somebody in this league that will want Chris Boucher on his team. Who knows? I don't know. That's the thing. This league's weird in this point like that. Let's see. Fiercely saying, imagine the Bucks go to 3-1. This will be the ultimate test for Doc Rivers. Well, that's what everybody's joking on Twitter this morning. The Bucks series was not really fully in gear until Doc has a 3-1 lead. Yeah, we know that joke. Doc can have a 3-1 lead and he will blow it. And I get it. In some ways, I get that joke, and I can see this happening. I can see this happening. Isaac saying, raspberries are amazing. Enjoy your Earth Day. There you go, Isaac. Thank you, my guy. And thank you. Nice. I like that too. Isaac saying, dunk at Tom Duke, who planted 100 trees before breakfast. Did you really do that? Isaac, are you lying to me? Tom, you better have done that. No, I'm just kidding. That's cool. All right. He's at 42 also. He's a Yakapurtle 42, just like Cool Cat. That's cool. All right. Let's see. Who else? What are you guys are saying? Cowboys saying, everyone have a great day. Don't work hard. Don't work hard. Work smart. What does the tractor app say today? All right. You want me to go check on the Farmer's Almanac page later, Lex and Raptor Freaks. Dap to you, Bradley. All right, yes. Let me go check on the Old Farmer's Almanac. And today's a good day for two things, Bradley. Today is a good day to end projects. If you have a project, Bradley, you're working on today for work, end it because it's a good day for that. And then the other one is get married. This is a good day for you to get married, apparently. The moon and the stars are aligned. So if you're getting married on a Monday, Earth Day, for April 22nd, well, congratulations on your marriage. There you go. Nako saying Ant's young and got the playoff experience to lead his team to playoffs. For better, for worse, he has more experience than SGA. Yeah, I believe I remember Minnesota being in the playoffs from time to time. Let's not get this twisted, Nako. The thing about the makeup of the Timberwolves is different. They've got some older players like Gobert, who has tons of experience in FIBA and like high stakes FIBA stuff and in the playoffs. And then you've got guys like Mike Conley. Mike Conley is a very key person for the Timberwolves. He is absolutely a Grizzly vet from way back. And he has been in Grizzlies, he's been on Jazz, and now he's on the Timberwolves. Mike Conley is that guy. Now, Anthony Edwards may be the guy scoring. He has the USA last year, Team USA. He has a couple different things, but he's still the youngster. And without those other older guys around him, Naz Reid, that's another one. He wouldn't be supported in the right way in some ways. So, yes, he is playing at a high aptitude for a youngster in the league. But you got to understand, he has a veteran core around him. And that's the difference right there. Yeah, he has a veteran core, and a lot of those guys, you can think Anthony Edwards is directing that team, but it's Mike Conley. Come on, guy. That's Mike Conley's team in a point guard way. Now, Anthony Edwards is a scorer for that team. He's going to get a lot of the baskets. But once again, don't overvalue scoring in any kind of sense. It's Mike Conley's leadership, like a Chris Paul out there that is doing what he's doing. Kyle Lowry kind of stuff. And Rudy Gobert takes care of the defensive side of things. Anthony Edwards takes care of the offensive side of things. So that's kind of the way it breaks down there. And that's the difference. There's no Mike Conley on Oklahoma City next to SGA. He has to be the old head veteran point guard, even at his very limited years in the league. Cool Cat saying mixture of experienced older players with sprinkle young players is the strategy. Pay your experienced players, team owners. See, she's all about that. And she's saying that this summer for Siakam. She's saying that for Siakam specifically. No, I agree with this. You want to have the right mix. I feel like our mix on our team is pretty good right now with guys like Kelly Olynyk around. There is a bit of experienced older players, and then you got the youth. And I think that it's good to have a balance. If you're just totally young, well, you better wait for a little while. In some ways, that's part of the reason why I don't think the Thunder will win this year. But if you only have older guys, I don't know. In some ways, those teams used to win championships all the time. The teams that were completely older. That's actually true. Like if you go back and look at some of the older teams that won all the time, they were very experienced. A lot of their players, their average were like 8 years each in the league. It's just so weird because our league is trending so young at this point. You can't have an average veteran team of like 5+ years for every single player. There's always got to be some youngster or something like that, a Christian Brune, something like that on the team somewhere. Yeah. Let's see. Tom Duke is peacing out on Earth Day. I love it. Tommy's going to go do a good Earth Day today. And the Cowboy saying, alley-oop, Isaac. Let's grow, Tom Dukey. Yeah, there you go. All right, we're going to give an alley-oop to Isaac Campbell. Where is Isaac on here? There he is right there. 59 for Isaac. 59 dunks. All right, let's see. Tom saying 100%. Cowboy saying rhubarb pie and ice cream. Fiercey dap. All right, yeah, you guys are getting all the rhubarb pie this morning here. And Fiercey saying yummy. And Mike's saying there's only so much money spent on rosters per year. If you have 2 or 3 players making 60 to 90% of the salary cap, you need lower cost players and the vet minimum stops most of those guys from fitting rosters. There you go. There you go, right there. There you go. Maybe the Players Association should have known this when they were negotiating the salary caps recently. Mike just explaining the phenomena, how this happens. And I totally agree with them. There's certain guys on teams, if you're a star franchise player, you're going to get that big chunk of the salary cap. And then they got to fit it all around there. And well, you can pay players that are on rookie contracts cheap. Cheap. And that's what it is right there. Trevor's saying that's why the Clippers are showing everyone how to do it with the old vets. Exactly. That's why I would say they may be the favorite on the Western side, other than the Nuggets, is because the Clippers got the know-how to do it, and they do have some young guys on their team that are playing with them to do certain things for them too. Not gonna say I wouldn't sleep on Ant's defense, but for the most part, I agree. Yeah, I mean he plays good defense, but we know Gobert. He's in the top 3 finalists for Defensive Player of the Year. He is one of the best defenders in the league for sure, and he's the leader on that side of the floor. But yeah, Ant's a great defender. I'm not trying to slight him. I'm just saying that a lot of Anthony Edwards' younger success is because he has these guys that are around him that are very, very experienced, and Gobert and Conley in particular, those two guys. I mean, you could even say, what's another guy on their team that's kind of older? That is a big, well, yeah, Towns is another really talented guy, but is he even playing right now? I think he's hurt, right? Let's see. Mo's saying, I'm so thankful for 2019 Kawhi. Keep up the great streams. Yeah. Yeah. I want Kawhi to get healthy and return to the Clippers lineup. He's going to be a boost. It could be like I was wondering why they didn't play Precious against Joel in the first game, but it's a long series. There's 7 games. So sometimes when you have a guy out like Giannis or Kawhi, it's a boon because they come in and add something later in the series that may help you have the momentum change to your side. So Kawhi coming back could be a huge boost to the Clippers if the Mavericks start trying to figure something out in game 2 or 3. Well, Kawhi comes back all of a sudden. Look out, look out. I'm with you, Mo. Celebrate our 5-year anniversary or championship. And remember, in the community tab, you can watch my old show from 5 years ago during the championship run and see what I was saying then, Raptor Freak takes from then during the middle of our playoff run then. So if you're missing the playoffs this year with the Raptors and us, well, relive the championship run with us on the community tab of this channel. Fun clips. Carlos saying, how about the Celtics payroll? How could they afford that starting 5? Well, they're going to have to go into luxury taxes. I don't know how they're going to do it. In some ways, I don't want any team to have special rules for them to be able to keep things going in a certain way. And so, and no fishy stuff with those Celtics. I see that already Jalen and Jason make astronomical amounts. How the hell do they do it? Well, they better be paying some luxury tax. Pay some luxury tax. That's what I'm saying. Let's see. Logical saying, if you can play a 22-year-old less to play the same minutes as a 30-year-old making $1 million more, adding up to being in the luxury tax. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, but it's still not healthy or good for the league, in my opinion. That's just how I look at it. In some ways, if they've done it this way, well, we're going to have a shittier product for the NBA. That's the way I look at it. Because those veterans that should be getting paid and sticking around, they're in their early 30s, that are not at this point, well, they're the guys who know how to hold the quality up in the league. And there's a lot of young guys that don't play right. I'm just saying that. There are a lot of guys that just don't play right in this league. In some ways, they wouldn't even make the league back in the day because they just showed up and they're like, yeah, you don't know how to play basketball. We don't want you. You know, they would pick guys that weren't as talented, that knew how to play basketball better than them over guys that are really talented that don't know how to play basketball. That's the problem. There's a lot of supremely talented athletes that just don't know how to play basketball in the NBA right now. And they are the ones who are making the quality of the game look so shitty because they're fundamentally not good. I'm just saying. Fiercely saying, Nikel, let's see, availability and health with younger guys seems to be better for teams with older stars. Okay. I mean, I don't know what the argument here is. Basically, I'm just trying to say the playoffs are a different season. These youngsters are going to be thrown in the fire. They don't know what they're doing. And they're going to come in there and be shell-shocked, just like most of the Mavericks team, just like a lot of these young teams that came out there this weekend. That's just the whole point. Fiercely saying, Nickel Alexander can provide help as he's also in FIBA, knows how to play high level. Yeah, I mean, Lou Dort, he's a young player, but he has a lot of experience also. I mean, it's a weird thing. I mean, the oldest player who's playing for them is like Gordon Hayward, and he's a bench scorer. He comes off the bench and plays, but he's the most experienced vet on that Oklahoma City team right now. Muscala, if he gets in, he's another one. Let's see. Cowboys saying one more thing, Lex. I agree with Carlo. There's going to be a lot of teams that have to do what the Raptors and Masai did this offseason. We're ahead of the curve. Let's go. When did he say that? Did he say that yesterday? Yeah, I don't even know. Yeah, I mean, I think that that's true. I think the Warriors should have to blow themselves up after this disappointing, not even making the playoffs year. Yeah, I mean, in some ways, you're right. I mean, is there certain rules? Certain teams can just spend as crazy as they want, and it doesn't matter. Lakers, I don't know. We'll just have to see how this offseason goes. But the new salary cap rules are going to be something that people are going to have to conform to in the very close years to come. And some teams are going to be in bad shape trying to fit in, wedge in, shoehorn in crazy salaries into that cap. I'm telling you right now. Cool Cat saying billionaire team owners can open up their wallets, cheap labor exploitation. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I'm with Cool Cat on this. I know that she's like said before, and recently we talked about like, well, not for the owners. Who's for who? And in some ways, yeah, they're going to cost cut. Maybe this is a way that they're like, yeah, we don't really care about winning. We just want to worry about our bottom lines. We're just going to have a lot of young players on our team. I don't know. I don't know. Every team's going to have a specific strategy and what they're trying to do at that specific time. But yeah, I always side with labor and people that do the work over the owners. I always do. I try to. Now she's confused me for siding with the Raptors in that way, but no, that's siding for the franchise, not necessarily the owners. When I've had certain stances. All right, let's see. Carlos saying, "Hey, Mike, do you know about the second apron of the luxury tax? I heard that severely handicaps a team. That's what we're talking about. Is that there's two aprons, and we're not going to be trying to go into the second apron ever because that's for teams that are crazy and they have like owners that are going to go crazy and spend. So I don't think we will unless we're absolutely competing for a championship. Nako saying, I know the cap's going up. I don't think this Celtics team is lasting 3 years. They're going to trade Porzingis eventually. Yeah, I don't know. I don't care. I'm not the Celtics freak. I'm not looking at all this from the inside. I don't give a shit what happens to them. I just want them to lose in the playoffs. That's all I care about. Monique is saying MVP, not Raptors related, but Michael Porter Jr. speaks on the emotional time his family's dealing with. Some bad news and sad stuff happening with a couple of my brothers, but I've got, 15, 16 more brothers in here. She's talking about his Nuggets teammates. Yeah, I mean, in some ways, once again, I know this isn't Raptors related, and honestly, the Porter family disgusts me. So whatever, they can be whatever, and they can do whatever. And yeah, at least he has his Nuggets teammates. Whatever. I mean, it's a joke in some ways. What's happened in the last 2 weeks for that family? It's sad. It's just sad. It's pathetic, and in some ways, they brought it on themselves. Mike saying the super team accounting pushed more older players out and forced other teams to rebuild and work on young guys. It's an effect of the trends in the 2010s. Yeah, a lot of the trends are bad. Like the way NBA is trending is not good in a lot of different ways. I'll tell you, I'm just trying to say this is part of the reason why the product of the NBA isn't as good at this point. Why do you think people at the All-Star game don't take it seriously? Because a lot of the league doesn't take the whole league seriously. And it's just guys showing up to get cash and money and be a name. And they don't actually play for the right reasons at this point. A lot of them. Some of them do. And that's why you want to find those diamonds in the rough. People like RJ Barrett. Then there's guys that just want to be famous or just they made it and they want to coast and whatever. They make their first paycheck and they're knuckleheads and they don't work anymore. Yeah, that's part of the landscape of the NBA right there. Let's see. Nako's saying the Warriors could have traded for Pascal easy. Their loss. I don't know what it could have, should have. I don't know about any of that. You're woulda, coulda, shoulda. That's not what happened. So I'm not even going to look at that. Country Kong saying, Lex, what an exciting weekend of playoff basketball. SGA was clutch. CJ shot almost went in. Halliburton is still injured. And if we had a nickel for every Clippers Mavericks matchup, we'd be rich. That's good stuff. I like Country Kong's fun with his comment. That's fun stuff. Yeah, it was I didn't watch any of it. I didn't watch any of the playoff basketball, but I did box score look at it afterwards and kind of looked and seen and maybe heard a little bit of the chatter on Twitter and social media about what was happening. But otherwise, nah. I didn't really watch it. But hey, if you guys were entertained and good stuff happened, I mean, hey, Nick Nurse and the Sixers lost their first game. And hopefully they'll lose again tonight. That's where I'm at with it. Let's see. Cowboys saying alley oop to superfan Mo. All right, I got your piece, a Raptor Freak family. There you go. All right, Cowboy. We'll give a dunk to Superfan Mo. Once again, guys, this is her first 50-second dunk of the year so far. We're celebrating Monique's birthday on June the 8th in Toronto at the NBA restaurant on Queens Quay at the Lakeshore. And we don't have a time set. Monique, you need to message me a time so we can figure it out. Just so I can tell people exactly when. Well, you don't have to do it right away, but please give me some leeway beforehand so that I can set it up. What time you think it'll be, even if it's just a general time, it can be amended around there, just so people can understand and plan accordingly to try and come. And yeah, in some ways, we'll get a good group down there for June the 8th at the NBA restaurant, celebrating Superfan Monique's birthday. Let's see. Mike San Carlo. Yeah, I went through it last summer. Second apron isn't past the luxury tax threshold. Second apron makes team have to match 100% of trade salary and freezes picks. You can't sign certain buyout guys. Okay, so it does limit you because you're going into an area where you're kind of like overspending compared to everybody else. So you shouldn't have some of the perks and abilities that other teams have that didn't do that. Yeah, I like that. I like that. The right people were complaining about the new salary cap rules, and that made me smile. When the right people are complaining about it, I know it's a good change. Kareem saying only one winner. That means a lot of turnaround this summer. I wonder what Chicago, Donovan Mitchell, Washington, etc. are going to do. Yeah, I can agree with that. My legs are starting to hurt, so I'm done. Y'all don't write anymore, please. I really do want to get done. Y'all keep writing comments. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, there is going to be a lot of change, and hopefully Masai can be an opportunist. Love to see how. Country Kong saying, I have a player I'd like us to scout. He's kind of got lost in the mix at Kentucky, but he's a serious potential. He came in top 5 projected, but now we could get him at 31. His name is Justin Edwards. All right, let me see about that. I'll look at Justin Edwards real quick. But yeah, I want to be done by an hour. So if you guys can see my time, do not make me go past an hour, as I have things I have to do. And my dad bet me I couldn't be under an hour. So I need to be under an hour today, guys. Let's see. Justin Tayon Edwards is from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He's 20 years old. He's 6'8", 203 pounds from Kentucky. Yeah, okay. He's a 5-star recruit. All right, let me just put him on the YouTube, and I'll do a quick scout of him at the request of Country Kong. All right, Justin Edwards highlights from Kentucky. Let's get a short clip. Career high against Alabama, 28 points. All right, let's see. Okay, let's see. Where is this guy? He is got the ball. He's taking a 3. Not a bad shot. That's a catch and shoot. Quick release. Not bad. Edwards makes me think of Anthony. Justin. Is he? They're not related, are they? I shouldn't say, just assume that. Okay, so he took a stop and pop just inside the 3-point line, and his form's pretty good. Here he is. He's coming around. All right, he got the ball back. Give and go, 3. So he's got a quick release. He's trying to shoot before the defender comes. The form looks pretty fundamental. All right, this is a defensive play. He gets a steal. He gets in the passing lane, although that was a really bad play by Alabama. And he comes back and he scores it on them at the other end. Yeah, I mean, I like the wingspan. It looks like he's got a good outside shot. So a 6'8" long arm monster with a 3-point shot. And it looks like he's got some good defensive ability. That's attractive. I mean, that's attractive. And you're saying he'd probably be like the first pick in the second round. Ooh, there's a nice alley-oop. He didn't get it, though. Okay, I see that play. All right. Yeah, I think I've seen enough. This guy's pretty good. He's pretty good. I wouldn't mind him at that spot as far as like first pick in the second round. I wouldn't mind that. Wouldn't mind that. David's here. Good morning, David. Monique saying, hey, Lex, do you like what the new NBA is doing with the NBA in-season tournament? I have not heard what they're doing. I heard that they renamed it. I heard that they may be like making it, if you win it, you get a certain thing for like, they're going to use it to figure out tiebreakers at the end of the year. I've heard that they're talking about doing that. That's all I've heard. They're going to rename it to something else, and they might make it part of the tiebreakers at the end of the season. That's all I've heard. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the in-season tournament because of how disruptive it was for our season this past year. Specifically for the Raptors, it was really bad for us. It was a very momentum killing. They provided the refs a more serious game to do ref hit jobs on us, and they were early, right when we're trying to start some momentum. So there's something very devious about the in-season tournament I don't like. We'll just have to see how it goes this year since they're going to probably do it again. But I'm not a big fan of it at this point. I thought it was a cool idea and interesting, and it did what it was supposed to do. But also, it's having some negative side effects and some really shady, manipulative ways that I don't like. So, yeah. Kareem saying, I secretly want the Leafs to lose again. Suits and ties won't win you, Lord Stanley. Yeah, I mean, the Leafs, in some ways, whatever. I want to support them because it's Toronto, and I know that people really want to see them win. But honestly, it's all set up for them to fail all the time, and it's partly because of things like being in their division. They're set up right away to play the Bruins. That's just not fair. That's just not fair because they always have to deal with the Bruins right away, and they just don't get anywhere with them. They just don't. That's never been a good matchup for the Leafs, the Boston Bruins, and they just destroy them. And well, 5-1, the game one. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it depends. What was the bet? It's not a bet on money. I don't bet on money. It's just I told him I would be done in an hour, and he wanted, and because we have to go somewhere, we have to go to a mail post office. We have to go do a bunch of errands, like Monday morning errands and stuff. So I don't have time to be on here like for 3 hours. All right, thanks Fiercey for the cutoff. And oops, 10:22. And Cowboys laughing. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching me today. I'll be back tomorrow for Tuesday trivia. I got to draw write up all up that up and get everything ready for Tuesday trivia tomorrow. So I'll be back tomorrow, guys. Thank you, Mike. All the best to y'all. Let's go Raptors as always, and just be good Raptors fans and have a good Earth Day. Take care of Mother Earth. It's the only one we got, and in some ways, today is the day to really be nice to the Earth. So do something that is helpful to the Earth and the environment. That's what I would say today. All right. I'll see y'all. Let's go Raptors. Let's go Raptors.